Welcome back to another episode of the Angel Moms podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Bain, and today we're going to take a real quick dive into two different grounding techniques that you can use when you are grieving. Now, why would you want to use a grounding technique? Well, sometimes when we're grieving, we're spiraling, we're feeling anxious. We're scared. We're angry. We've got this assault of multiple emotions. It's like spaghetti. We can't just name one emotion that we're feeling. It's overwhelming. It's confusing. And what a grounding technique can do is just bring everything down to a calmer state. It's like being more mindful, for example. It's bringing us to the here and now, which gives our brain and body a break. And if you're in that anxiety mode, it can bring your heart rate down. It can help you sleep better. And it can definitely help you get out of that flight or fight scenario. So let's get into it quickly. The first one you may have heard of is called the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. Now, you can do it wherever you are, but you simply are using your five senses to quietly name to yourself five things you can see, four things you can touch, three things you can hear, two things you can smell, and one thing you can taste. So, as an example, even as I sit here in this office, what are five things I can see? I can see my computer. I can see my reflection in the computer. I can see my daughter's picture behind me. I can see the sticky note that I have on my computer. And I can see my microphone. I think that's five. Four things I can touch. My butt is in the chair. My hand is on the table. What else can I touch? I can reach out and touch my book, which is right beside me. I can touch my phone, which is beside me. Okay. Three things I can hear. Well, I can hear myself talking. I can hear the wind blowing outside, and I can hear the furnace blowing. Okay. Two things I can smell. I can smell the shampoo that I used this morning, and I can smell the room freshener that I have going. And one thing I can taste, my toothpaste. But when we're thinking of these things, you see, our mind isn't spiraling around the thing that it was spiraling around. So if we can do that slowly and just remind ourselves that we are here, we are safe, and we can name these things. Like I say, we can do these anywhere. You can do this while you're sitting in traffic if you're feeling anxious. The second technique I'm going to share with you is something that I came up with myself, and I call it the sparkle technique. And in the beginning, after I lost my daughter, I used this a lot because, again, I found when I was spiraling and I was just spinning and spinning and spinning, this would bring me down. It would help me go to sleep. It would just help me take a moment. So when I talk about sparkle breathing, it's using our imagination a little bit, if you will. So I think we all know that the breath and focusing on the breath is a very powerful thing. Again, when we're focusing on the breath, it's really hard to let our mind scramble around. And it takes work, right? But for myself, I can't just blot out everything. I can't just not think of anything like meditation. I need some guidance. And an image is a nice way to do that. So I imagine that when I'm taking a deep breath in, that what I am breathing in is white sparkles. Now, what I mean is, when you take a snow globe and you shake it up and those white sparkles in there, that's what I'm imagining. And I'm imagining that those sparkles go in my nose, in my mouth, and spread out to every cell in my body. And those sparkles are full of love and gratitude, kindness, all the good things that a human being needs. And then I imagine that when I breathe out, everything that no longer serves me goes out. I don't even have to name it, but it might be anger, it might be blame, shame, guilt, anything that is not helping me right now, right? We can get really caught up in all these feelings that aren't serving us well. And I am just releasing them. Again, I like to use an image. I like to imagine like gray, black, yucky smoke. So in come the white sparkles of love, and out go everything that no longer serves me as this black smoke. So those are two grounding techniques that you can use anytime. And this is actually just a snippet out of the full length episode that I have on the audio podcast, the Angel Moms podcast. And this snippet is a part of 7 grief strategies that you can use when you're a bereaved mom. So I go deeper into more grief strategies. So if you'd like to check those out, you can check those out on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. I'll put a link in the notes below in the description. So I invite you to go over there and check that out. I'll also put a link to my website if you're looking for any kind of free resources, if you're a grieving mom or wanting to support a grieving mom. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for chiming in, and we'll see you next time.